First of all, I am delighted to be part of these deliberations of Sampark Bharati. I think it's an excellent concept. It's an excellent concept, and this is the way to go as a community. This is the way forward because we are a community under continual attack. You have to take a cue from the Jewish community, from the Israeli community, and how they strengthened themselves, how they energized themselves, how they unified, how they started to be proactive and defend themselves. And today Israel is a major military power. It's beaten all the combined armies of the Arab countries around, which number it 20, 100:1. And yet Israel has triumphed. I think we need that proactive approach today. I mean, this is ultimately quite, you have to be able to defend yourself. And for that, we need to have revived the Kshatriya Bhav, the fighting spirit of the Indian people. That is why I was very keenly interested in three of your verticals that you mentioned: Sanatani environment for our children, counter-narrative team, and the historical aspect. Those who don't learn from history are condemned to repeat it. I will be focusing very, very specifically on these three verticals. And what I would like to tell you is that a lot of work has been done in this field, is being done in this field in India and in a number of other countries. I would advise you to adopt the modular approach. Plug in. If there are existing modules plug into them, draft them onto your structure, and build up from there. Build up. That will help you build up faster. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You've done a tremendous job. I was particularly impressed by the concept of the QRT and how it can come to the aid of every member of our diaspora. And even within the country, we need this kind of a QRT because people are getting targeted. People are getting singled out. So they need that help. But what I am going to focus is at the community level. And like I said, I will start with a strong Sanatani environment for children. I will talk of the counter-narrative team, and I will talk of education and history. Now, coming to the strong Sanatani environment level, what? We have to go back to our roots. We have to get back to our roots, nourish our roots. You want to have a strong tree, it will not be a strong tree unless your roots are nourished. And what are your roots? Your roots are the Vedas. So what we are trying to strengthen is the fighting spirit of this nation state. You see, we have an ecosystem, we had an ecosystem of bravery that were ballads, poetry, Gajbar Chhati Prithviraj ki aankhon pe mashal, Bundele har bolon ke mukh हमने सुनी कहानी थी, खूब लड़ी मर्दानी वह तो झांसी वाली रानी. You see that poetry, that meter, that rhyme, that cadence, that helps you preserve racial memories, right? Your community memories of bravery, of courage, of values that must be passed on from generation to generation. What were the Vedas? The world's first and the largest poem. What was the Mahabharata? One of the largest poems in the world. But poetry as an art form is dead. So we thought this task of motivation, etc., would all now go on to television and the film media, the social media, etc., etc. So far, the film medium has failed us very badly in India. So we have said we will not cry, we will not lament, we will take action. So when I retired from the army, I and my son, he has a firm called the Aditya Horizon, and we started first creating a series of war comics on our Paramveer Chakras and military heroes post-independence. How many PVC winners can they name? So we started a series of war comics which we spread to the schools and to the colleges. Then we decided to digitize. We have now started a series of war documentaries, which are called the famous battles of India. So we are going to make more and more of these, exploit the current and the new emerging platforms, you know, to sort of spread this on all vectors, in books, in comics, in documentaries, in feature films, in the metaverse. We are going to create Indian mythological themes and sort of flood this thing with documentaries and movies of this. We are already working on this endeavor. We would like to collaborate with you. We would like to just plug in onto your network and help us disseminate these. That is what you are talking of in terms of creating a Sanatani environment for children. That is what you are talking of when you talk of countering narrative teams. That is what you talk of when you talk of education and history. And once again, I'm deeply delighted to be part of these deliberations. My best wishes to this very fine organization, Sampark Bharati, that you have created. I wish you all success. I wish you are able to get our disparate communities together, our squabbling communities together for cohesive, purposive, and result-oriented action. Jai Bharat! Jai Hind!